Yo, what's good, YouTube? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Q, aka the Wave Man, here with another WaveMonopoly.com tutorial. And today, we're gonna teach y'all how to get y'all vocals from sounding like this.
I love the way you ride for me. I love the way you slide for me.
Sounding like this.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see.
Well, at least we're gonna try. Today, everything Autotune. Let's get into it.
Look me in your eyes, your inside speed. Like it's the any time is you gon' ride with me. Is you gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Wave Monopoly tutorial, man. I am glad to see you here another day, okay? Look, today we're gonna be getting into everything Autotune. Yeah, that plugin you use on pretty much every song. Yeah, we're gonna get into all the knobs and every single little aspect of that plugin. Well, most of the important ones, the ones that actually make a difference in your vocals, guys. We're gonna get into that today. Everything you need to know about Autotune, all right? Hold on. We gotta figure out what Autotune is first, man. Autotune basically, guys, is pitch correcting, all right? Antar's Autotune has become so big, guys, it's literally taken over the word pitch corrector, okay? It's just how we use the word Google for search. It's literally Autotune for pitch correcting, all right? Literally, that's Autotune, guys. And Autotune affects our sounds. It pretty much automatically corrects our pitch. And whatever key and scale that we put into our Autotune software, it literally will bring your key up to the closest note assigned in our Autotune, or will bring it down to the closest note assigned in our Autotune. And we're gonna go through that right now. Let's get into the brain thing. So, now that we spoke about what Autotune is, let's look at the screen and get into the example so I can really go into depth about what these buttons are, how to use it, and where they will come in handy. Let's get into it. All right, guys, what we're looking at right now is a demo that I did called Paralyzing Souls that I used the 2C vocal preset from WaveMonopoly.com. This is the Pro Tools Waves version preset, and that's what we're gonna be using in this example. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a taste of this. Like I said, guys, if you need any vocal presets, if you need those vocal chains, guys, down in the description or WaveMonopoly.com. Let's get into it and see what we're gonna be working with today.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, your inside speed. Like it's the any time is you gon' ride with me. Is you gon' slide with me. You say fuck my eyes, me on a crime spree. Other women did me dirty, you who I believe. But don't paralyze your soul, you don't lie to me. You know I ain't.
Now, a quick tip I want to tell you guys when it comes to tracking vocals before you really get into the super nitty gritty of this Autotune, guys. Right here in the settings of Autotune, there is a low latency mode. Use low latency mode, guys, when you are tracking vocals. When you got those headphones on and you want to hear it with zero latency, which means zero feedback, which means no lag in your vocals, no delay in your vocals, guys, make sure that use low latency mode is checked. Trust me. Make sure it's checked, all right? Now let's get into that nitty gritty, right? So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do when trying to get your Autotune right is figuring out your key and scale, okay? The reason why you need to figure out your key and scale is because simply every single song instrumental that you're gonna be recording has a different key and scale, okay? It has a scale that it was created in. The instrumental will tell you what and which way to sing. All right, what key and what scale to be in to sing that's gonna sound good and that's gonna work with the beat. So that's the first thing that we're gonna wanna do, all right? So there's many ways to do this, okay? The first way we're gonna do this, now as you can see, guys, on our website, WaveMonopoly.com, we've made a free key detector for you guys, okay? That means, yes, you can go ahead and pop any instrumental you have right in this key detector. It's that easy, and you'll upload it and it will instantly tell you the key and scale of your beat, all right? That's it. Simple as that. All right, guys. Link is in the description, or just visit WaveMonopoly.com and go to our tools at the top and you will find the key detector. All right, guys. That's the first thing. In our case, we already know what the key and scale is of this beat, which is a B major, and that's the correct key and scale to be in. All right, guys. So that's the most important part right here, okay? Key and scale. Make sure that it's locked in, because if that's not locked in, guys, it's gonna be off. All right. Now, there is another way to find the key and scale, and sometimes I like to use this just to make sure I got the correct key, and which is Autotune's Auto Key. All right. This is a plugin made by Antares. Okay. Now, this is not free, but it does do the trick, all right? So what we're gonna do, guys, is simply just go ahead and let this scan the actual instrumental, and then it's gonna display us the correct key. Let's do it. Boom, simple as that. B major, it'll give you the same thing, all right? Now, as with all technology, guys, technology is not 100%. It's never 100%, guys. So if you're finding that you use any key detector, Autotune's key detector, Wave Monopoly's key detector, and you're finding that it's not quite sounding right, guys, this is the last and my favorite way of finding any key for Autotune is simply using your ears, okay? So what I like to do is pull up your Autotune and put the retune speed all the way to 0, humanize all the way to 0, just so we're getting the most retune speed so we can actually hear the effect to make sure that this key is correct, all right? We'll go ahead and listen to it.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see.
All right, I can already hear that this is the correct key, all right? Let me go ahead and put it in a different key so you can hear what it sounds like for it to be way off.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see.
All right, it's just doing a little too much. It's doing a little too much, you feel me? So when you hear those, you know it's off, all right? The next thing I want to get into, guys, after you have the key and scale down, is our input type, all right? Now, input type is pretty important because it kind of gives you a different feel to the Autotune, all right? Now, this is based on the signal going in, which in our case, it's going to be our voice, all right? So what happens is when our voice goes into the software, this input type is gonna kind of help where it's gonna actually fall in the octaves that it's using, all right? So for instance, if you have a Drake vocal, a Drake type of deeper voice vocal, and you're auto-tuning it, you're probably gonna wanna use low male, right? As in the same way that you would wanna use kind of a higher male voice, kind of like mid-range female voice, you're gonna wanna use alto tenor, all right? And in the same way, if you have like a female voice or a way high up voice, you're gonna wanna use soprano, all right? In this case, I'm gonna be using alto tenor. I kinda like it, it's the sweet spot for me. So go ahead and play with that, guys, and see what best works for you and the sound that you're looking for, all right? Break the rules to make the rules, simple. Now, one of the most important knobs on this entire plugin is gonna be the retune speed, guys. What is retune speed? Retune speed is literally how fast you want these notes to be transitioning in between notes. Now, what that means is pretty much the faster your Autotune retune speed, the more T-Pain your effect is, or more robotic as some people would describe it, all right? The higher your retune speed, the less you're gonna notice it, okay? More natural kind of feel, all right? In this case, for this vocal, because it's a melodic rap type of vocal, we're gonna go ahead and use retune speed 5, all right? Now, what I'm gonna do for y'all right now is I'm gonna embarrass myself. All right, I'm gonna embarrass myself. So I'm gonna let y'all hear how the raw vocal sounds without any autotune, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it sounds as we go from the fastest retune speed to the lowest retune speed, all right? Let's get into it, all the way from 0.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, it's your inside speak. Like it's the any time is you gon' ride with me, is you gon' slide with me. You say for my eyes, we on a crime spree. Other women did me dirty, you who I believe. But don't paralyze your soul, leave them lies with me. You know why?
All right, that's how it goes when it goes from fastest to slowest, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is turn the autotune all the way off so you can actually hear how the vocal sounds raw and how it sounds when it's at my desired retune speed, okay? Which is 5 for this vocal. So let's get it, bypassed.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, it's your inside speak. Like it's the any time is you gon' ride with me, is you gon' slide with me. You say for my eyes, we on a crime spree. Other women did me dirty, you who I believe. But don't paralyze your soul, leave them lies with me. You know why?
All right, guys, as you can hear, without auto-tune, it kind of falls off towards the end. I love the way you ride for me, I love the way you slide with me, you chosen and now I. Okay, those ends, I love the way you ride. You're gonna hear them fall off. I love the way you slide with me, you chosen and now I can see. You can hear those falling off tune, off pitch, whatever you want to call it. And actually what the auto-tune does is it tightens those up and it corrects those notes and it just puts me back in that pocket that we're trying to sit in. So that's that for retune speed. That's how that's affected. All right. Now, humanized is literally what it sounds like. It brings realism to your auto-tune software. It brings the human aspect of the vocals back into the auto-tune so that you're not sounding too robotic-y. It sounds more natural when you use humanized. So what we use in conjunction with retune speed is humanized to get kind of that perfect blend of cohesiveness to get that sound that we're looking for, okay? In this case, I like to use 8, all right? Sometimes it's best to just leave it alone at 0 if that's the sound that you're going for. If you're going for a super natural vocal, you might want to turn this all the way up past 40, past 70, you know what I'm saying? 20, you know what I mean? That'll give you a more realistic sound, a more human, natural type of vibe in conjunction with the retune speed, okay? Now, what we're gonna go over now is flex tune, all right? I think flex tune is one of the more overlooked knobs on this actual Autotune. As for me though, I actually tend to use it a little bit. You know, I use it, it does come in handy. And what flex tune does, it adds pitch deviation. And what's pitch deviation? That's basically, it kind of tells Autotune, okay, while the retune speed is working and the humanizer is working, it's kind of like that turn off button where you can get a natural vibrato in there. So say if you have a singer who actually does have vibrato, right? And you're using Autotune, but Autotune is kind of messing up their vibrato. And when I say vibrato, I mean the yeah, all that. It kind of messes that up sometimes, all right? So what flex tune does is when you start to add, you know, values to this flex tune, it's gonna tell Autotune, look, when you hear that vibrato, yo, kind of chill out a little bit and allow some of that natural singing to come through the software, okay? Where it doesn't interrupt it and start changing it up way too much to where it sounds like, yo, that Autotune just did something crazy to my vocals. You know what I'm saying? So flex tune really does come in handy in that aspect. So that's what the flex tune is, all right? As for natural vibrato, guys, basically what that is telling Autotune is to either accentuate, make more vibrato from the one that you're hearing me put through the signal, or kind of take it out, okay? Take it away. Take some vibrato out of the vocal. Now, as for me, guys, I don't really find myself using this button. Comment below if you actually find yourself using the natural vibrato button. And hey, maybe who knows? We might have you come up here and show us how it worked on one of yours. Now, another cool feature that this Autotune Pro has is it has a classic mode. Now, what's classic mode? Classic mode is pretty much the older Autotune algorithm. All right, so if you found yourself remixing a song that you've had when you were using Autotune 5 or 8 or, you know, just older Autotunes, it had another algorithm because as newer Autotunes come out, or new softwares in general, they update things, they make things better. But better sometimes means different, right? So the classic mode gives you an older Autotune sound that actually is highly sought after from a lot of engineers. I find myself using the classic mode a lot, and like I said, guys, it just gives you a sound that you don't get with the new Autotune. Whether that's better to you or worse to you, that's for you to play around with and figure out. But that's the old school algorithm of Autotune that we all love. Literally, we all loved it. So that's what that is. Now, in classic mode, it's very important to note that you cannot change the throat length, and you also cannot change the transpose, okay? Now, I'm going to show you what these things are. In the regular Autotune Pro mode, you're actually able to do that. You have to click formants, all right? Now I'll go ahead and play with this throat so you can throw baby. It's like, now let me chill, man. But look, in this mode, in formant mode, guys, we're able to change the throat length, and you can get really creative with these things, especially if you're like sampling, if you're a producer and you're sampling. Definitely play around with format, guys. It'll give you some different sounds, some nostalgic sounds, and really change up that vocal to make it super unique and flow perfectly into your beat. So let's go ahead and play with it right now so you guys can actually hear what this actually does. Let's get into it.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, with your inside me. Like it's the any time is you gonna ride with me, is you gonna slide with me. You say for my eyes, we.
Now we're gonna get into transpose. It's kind of gonna bring us up in octaves and down an octave, all right? That's what transposing is. It's gonna transpose that note into higher octaves and lower octaves. Let's get into it, man.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, with your inside me. Like it's the any time is you gonna ride with me, is you gonna slide with me.
All right, do I use that in most of my vocals when I'm working with lead vocals or anything like that? Definitely not. But I will show you guys some really cool things we do with harmonies, with features like that. Comment down below if you want to see that. It gets super wild and crazy, like for real. All right, so something that gets a little bit more advanced, guys, is literally advanced mode. All right, Now, what advanced mode kind of does, and what I would actually tell you guys to use it for, if you would like to, is if you find auto-tune not working with your vocals too much, and you find like there's just that one note that just keep messing up, and I did all the checking, making sure the key and scales right. You went through all the key and scales, you went through every single thing, and something's not working, guys, take it to the advanced mode, all right? There's a really cool feature that I would recommend using if you need to kind of take that one note out, all right, guys? Now, as you can see, when I have this key of B major and it has all the notes that it's using, okay? Now, let's just say, for instance, that this E is just messing up my whole song, all right? So what you can do in this plugin is actually remove it. All right, you can remove that E so that it does not mess up your song no longer. Let's watch in this little circle right here where you're gonna see this E does not pop up, which means it's removed from this key and scale and it's not gonna mess up your song anymore.
But I love it when you ride for me. I love it when you slide with me. You chosen and now I can see. Look me in your eyes, your inside speak. Like it's the any time as you gon' ride with me.
So as you can see, guys, it takes out that note. So if you find that you did all your checks, it's nothing you can do further, it's just not sounding good, guys, take it to the advanced mode, guys. This can be a big help to you, all right? Now, I don't want to go too deep in this because this can really literally take all day. But now that you know how to use Autotune, I don't want to hear no off-pitch songs coming my way, you heard? All right, so you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Q, aka the Wave Man. Back with another one, and you already know what time it is, man. Look, make them hits now, all right? Dunzo.